cedar and roasting bream drift across the harbor in a waking dream. She sits upon the weathered pier, watching boats that disappear. Cobalt shadows start to fade in the quiet copper shade. Footsteps vanish from the stone, leaving her to wait alone. Copper lanterns catch the spray as the hull cuts through the bay. Every canvas she can see brings him closer to the cave. Evening tide begins to turn, leaving only hope to burn. Fading light upon the dock ticks away like any clock. Woolen shawl pulled tight and warm, sheltered from the coming storm. Gulls are nesting on the beam, far beyond the salty stream. Windows glow in rows of red, supper table softly spread. Still she watches for a sail through the gathering twilight veil. Salt-cured cedar fills the air, waiting on the wooden chair, watching where the shadows fall. Empty horizon answers nothing at all. Why does the harbor swallow up the light so fast before a single guest house lantern starts to glow? Salt sticks to every window pane of tinted glass, while rusty hinges swing and slowly creak below. A battered copper kettle boils upon the stove. I pour the bitter water through a porcelain sieve. The fishermen have packed away the nylon grove. There is no answering address for where I live. A sudden shift in weather rustles through the eaves. I watch the shadows swallow up the fading leaves. Tide is turning, pebbles rolling in the dark. Footsteps vanish where the ferry leaves its mark. Amber windows blur against the ocean swell. Nobody is coming down to ring the bell. A heavy woolen blanket drapes across my knee. I trace the water stains upon the timber floor. The horizon disappears into the endless sea. I leave the heavy iron bolt upon the door. engine stutters somewhere out at bay. The fog is eating every memory of today. Minutes stretch into an unfamiliar shape. I wonder if you ever meant to catch that train, or if you found a quiet corner to escape and left me waiting in the salt impregnated rain. Tide is turning, pebbles rolling in the dark. Footsteps vanish where the ferry leaves its mark. Amber windows blur against the ocean swell. Nobody is coming down to ring the bell. The lighthouse beam begins to spin. Another empty night sets in. Heavy velvet pressing against my wrist, while the amber harbor slowly turns to mist. That autumn evening you walked toward the foam, leaving salt to dry upon the cabin stone. I still wear the jacket lined in deep maroon, waiting here beneath the fading copper moon. Every gull is quiet on the wooden pier, counting down the seasons since you vanished here. The tide rolls in and washes out the sand. I hold the fabric trembling in my hand. 17 Septembers passed me by so slow. Nobody told me love was meant to go. The horizon bleeds a bruised and violet red, while I replay the final things you said. The fishermen have packed their nets away, turning down the lamps against the fading gray. Your empty coat is hanging by the kitchen door, sweeping softly on the splintered cedar floor. I touched the buttons cold against my open palm, finding sorrow underneath the ocean calm. The wind remembers how you spoke my name before the weather turned and broke the frame. Heavy velvet keeps the chill at bay as darkness swallows up another day, while I remain beside the rolling tide, waiting for the ghost of you to step inside. You said the tide would turn at 4. I count the peeling white of boats, a rusted latch against a door. My woolen shawl begins to float. The salt-dried baskets line the stone, a single gull above the mast. The village square is left alone while shadows lengthen out so fast. A heavy net is hung to dry. 3 chimney pots begin to smoke. The copper kettle wanders by, the quiet rhythm of small folk. Red sails are drifting past the dock. A sleepy heron leaves the bay. I watch the sun slide down the rock and wonder if you found your way. His shed. A stray dog wanders down the pier. The bakery has sold its bread. The evening fog is drawing near. The water laps the wooden piles. An orange glow consumes the west. I haven't moved in 20 miles. My tired hands are laid to rest. Red sails are drifting past the dock. A sleepy heron leaves the bay. I watch the sun slide down the rock and wonder if you found your way. The lantern flickers on the wall. Another dusk begins to fall. Copper light pools over the weathered dock, where the tide rests slow and the gulls forget to cry. A traveler pauses beside my wooden bench, with salt on his coat and questions in his eyes. He asks why I'm staring at the distant phone. I tell him I am waiting for someone to come home. He says the road is muddy. He says the wind is cold. I tell him every every sunset is a promise that's been sold. He points to the fading amber on the waves and asks if the man I want has hair of brown. I hand him my shawl to keep the damp away while we watch the fishing skiffs tie up in town. He stays for a moment, then he walks on by, leaving me alone beneath the purple sky. He says the road is muddy, he says the wind is cold. I tell him every sunset is a promise that's been sold. Every stranger passing by brings a different name. Every evening on the shore looks exactly the same. I turn my collar higher as the darkness falls, answering the silence when the ocean calls. He says the road is muddy, he says the wind is cold. I tell him every sunset is a promise that's been sold. The stranger is gone down the darkening lane, and the tide rolls in to wash away the stain. Breaks through the heavy quietude, while crimson spray washes the quiet fishing piers. The salty mist clings softly to my weathered shawl. I trace the wooden railing where the seagulls call. The rolling breakers crash against the jagged stone and leave me standing by the empty sea alone. The harbor lights begin to burn. I search the horizon for your return. Waves fold over the sandy ground without a single human sound. A rusted anchor rests beside the drying nets, while shadows stretch across the pebbled silhouette. The amber glow dissolves into the cooling dark. I watch the evening swallow up the distant spark. My weary fingers clutch the woolen fabric tight, while ships pass silently into the endless night. The harbor lights begin to burn. I search the horizon for your return. Waves fold over the sandy ground distant vessels guide the weary sailors home. I keep my station on the darkening wooden dock and listen closely to the rhythm of the clock. The harbor lights begin to burn. I search the horizon for your return. Waves fold over the sandy ground without a single human sound. The tide pulls away from the pier. I am still waiting right here. Five on the grandfather clock in the hall, casting long shadows against the pale wall. I sit by the harbor as evening draws near, watching the gulls wheeling over the pier. The salt on my skin has begun to dry white, waiting right here for the flash of your light. Tomorrow we'll walk by the edge of the foam. Tomorrow I'll tell you I'm glad you came home. Tomorrow the weather will clear from the west. Tomorrow the harbor will grant us our rest. Fishermen packing their nets on the quay, talking in low tones about the rough sea. I adjust the collar of your woolen coat, picturing clearly your incoming boat. The beacon is turning across the dark bay, lighting the pathway to guide you straightway. Tomorrow we'll walk by the edge of the foam. Tomorrow I'll tell you I'm glad you came home. Tomorrow the weather will clear from the west. Tomorrow the harbor will grant us our rest. And every small wave brings a promise ahead of words that we wanted so badly to said. The future is waiting just over the swell, with stories that only the two of us tell. Tomorrow we'll walk by the edge of the foam. Tomorrow I'll tell you I'm glad you came home. Tomorrow the weather will clear from the west. Tomorrow the harbor will grant us our rest. Frayed woolens wrap around my shivering spine, where harbor winds have blown since 9:30. The pier is empty now, the gulls have flown. I sit upon this bench of rusted stone, beside the wooden crates of salted cod. I count the footprints that the sailors trod. I watch the orange sky fade slowly in the gray. I tell myself you sailed upon the ferry yesterday. I pull the yellow threads against my cheek and think of vows you made to me last week. The lighthouse lantern blinks across the foam, while fishermen are hauling anchors home. Your canvas jacket hung behind the door before you walked across the wooden floor. The tide is pulling shells into the deep. The coastal village settles into sleep. I wrap the heavy fabric round my face and search the empty water for your trace. I watch the orange sky fade slowly in the gray. I tell myself you sailed upon the ferry yesterday. The wool is cold, the tide is high. The heavy wicker seat begins to bow. I wonder if you are returning now. A copper lantern dims against the tide, where fishing schooners pull up side by side. I smooth my apron on listen to the distant steeple clock. The gulls are wheeling past the golden glare, while salt air settles gently in my hair. I trace the waterline across the bay, where amber shadows melt and fade away. the jagged steep, while ocean whispers secrets to the deep. The evening breeze has turned a bit more cold. The stories of the coastline start to fold. I wrote a letter to the younger me about the girl who stared across the sea. She thought that love would anchor on the sand instead of slipping softly through her hand. The horizon bleeds a bruised and violet blue, and every dusk returns my thoughts to you. I should have packed my bags and walked inland instead of waiting footprints in the sand. The wicker chair is cold beneath my frame, and nobody is calling out your name. Across the quiet harbor in tonight, the tide pulls back and takes away the light. Footsteps echo down the cobblestone, leaving me to watch the sea alone. The bicycle bell rings on the corner street where you and I used to share our favorite meat. Orange sky is painting over every roof, while the rolling tide is asking for a proof. I lean on the timber railing of the pier, wondering if you will ever reappear. Amber waves are breaking on the sandy shore, counting every minute that you walk no more. Gulls are crying loud above the salty foam, wishing that the ferry brings you safely home. Sunset colors fading into velvet gray. Still I stand and wait for you to come my way. A distant engine hums across the sleepy bay. Fishermen are packing up their nets away. Windows of the cottages begin to glow, lanterns flickering against the undertow. Breeze is carrying a chill from distant lands. Shells are slipping softly through my waiting hands. You promised you would return before the cold set in, before the winter frost would freeze the docks again. Friend, my patience wears as thin as fading light. Will you keep your promise in the fading night? Footsteps echo down the cobblestone. Still I face the ocean all alone, waiting by the water till till the stars ignite. My old friend, the evening tide is here tonight. A ceramic mug with a chipped handle sits on the cedar table by the glass. I trace the circle where the coffee dried and watch the shadows lengthen on the grass. The salt spray sticks to every window pane while gulls cry out above the rocky cove. I wrap my cardigan against the chill and tend the embers in the iron stove. They said the schooner would be docking soon, before the twilight swallowed up the moon. Ochre skies begin to fold while the harbor water turns to gold. Every fishing boat has found its berth, leaving me the quietest place on earth. The lighthouse beam cuts through the rising mist, an orange pulse across the turning tide. I fold my hands across my apron front and leave the cabin door ajar outside. Your heavy boots still sit beside the rack, waiting for the day you travel back. The wooden floorboards groan beneath my tread. I whisper names of islands in my head until the kerosene lamp starts to fade, and I surrender to the promises you made. Ochre skies begin to fold while the harbor water turns to gold. Every fishing boat has found its berth, leaving me the quietest place on earth. The chipmunk stays right where it was placed, waiting for a step that time erased. sways in the dusk. Floorboards settle under bare feet. Shadows stretch across the pine. Tide pulls back from the rocky wall. Windows fog as the chill sets in. Curtains drift in the salty draft. Lantern wick flickers very low. Boats are tied at the wooden dock. Gulls have settled upon the roof. Amber glow upon the white foam. Waiting here until the stars come. Footsteps fading down the cart track. Nothing moves along the blue bay. Kettle whistles a lonely tune. Ashes crumble inside the grate. Woolen shawl wrapped around my arms. Looking out past the broken fence. Sails are dark on the distant line. Nobody passes by the gate. Every evening brings the same cold, staring hard at the empty path. Will you remember the winding road leading back to the wooden porch? Amber glow upon the white foam. Waiting here until the stars come. Footsteps fading down the cart track. Nothing moves along the blue bay. Night arrives upon the quiet shore. Still I watch the dark horizon. Grease lands heavy on the split pine floor. While you ask me why I'm watching by the screen door, I tell the stranger with the worn leather case that I'm merely keeping score of this quiet place. Salt has crusted white upon the windowsill, where the harbor winds are standing dead and still. Every canvas awning flaps a tired tune, waiting for the rising of a peach-colored moon. You adjust your collar against the damp cold air and ask if anyone is coming up the stair. Keep your ticket tucked inside your heavy coat. No one's hailing skiffs and no one's boarding boats. this coast today. Kettles whistle softly on the rusty stove. Birds are finding shelter in the cedar grove. You lean closer, wondering why I hold my ground, while the wooden flooring settles with a sound. Buses never rumble past the curving bend. This is just a roadside where the gravel ends. Travelers usually turn around by now, yet you linger watching how the breakers plow. Share your matches if you plan to stay a while. We can watch the water lose its summer smile. Keep your ticket tucked inside your heavy coat. No one's hailing skiffs and no one's boarding boats. Watch the copper glare dissolve into the bay. Nobody is traveling to this coast today. Leave the lantern burning bright. No one's coming here tonight. You said the diesel ferry always runs on time. I watched the orange foam dissolve along the line. A rusted anchor rests beside the drying net. The corner grocery store has got no butter left. Three seagulls circle low above the rotting dock. The village steeple bell just struck a hollow four. A stray black kitten sleeps upon a wooden crate. The harbor master locked his heavy office door. Copper light is spilling stones. A lonely pelican cleans his dusty bones. The salt water smells of iodine and tin, while shadows stretch across the empty bin. I fold my woolen scarf against the ocean breeze and count the peeling paint upon the weathered keys. A blue tarp flutters loose against a lobster trap. The tourist signs are folded on a paper map. A single chimney sends a line of gray aloft. The afternoon grows quiet and the edge is soft. 5 rusted cans are rolling on the gravel shore. A passing schooner leaves along a narrow The horizon melts from apricot to deep slate blue. I haven't got another thing I need to do except to watch the water turn from gold to black and wonder if the evening train is bringing back. A yellow buoy's bobbing in the freezing spray. The small details of waiting fill another day until the shoreline fades into the coming dark. An empty bench beside the silent water park. Descend on the weather-beaten dock. Your wicker chair faces outward toward the foam, while I imagine how you will welcome me home. Tomorrow evening, the schooner cuts the swell, passing slowly beneath the lighthouse bell. My canvas luggage rests beside the door, painted blue like the cottage kitchen floor. I watch the shadows lengthen on the beach, reaching out for what the waves can teach. And you will pour the tea in earthenware, resting your gentle hands upon my chair. The tide will turn just as the lamplight glows, to wash away the sorrow no one knows. Future hour, the salt will dry our hair. Evening breezes will lift the heavy air. You will smile and ask about the distant town, where brick and mortar press the spirits down. I will tell you nothing bothered me at all, watching twilight settle on the harbor wall. No more waiting by the shutter pane, listening to the rattle of the glass in rain. We will walk together down the pebbled shore, the sunsets anymore. And you will pour the tea in earthenware, resting your gentle hands upon my chair. The tide will turn just as the lamplight glows, to wash away the sorrow no one knows. I see us sitting there, waiting for the tide. salt-cured cedar and roasting bream drift across the harbor in a waking dream. She sits upon the weathered pier, watching boats that disappear. Cobalt shadows start to fade in the quiet copper shade. Footsteps vanish from the stone, leaving her to wait alone. Copper lanterns catch the spray as the hull cuts through the bay. Every canvas she can see brings him closer to the cave. Evening tide begins to turn, leaving only hope to burn. Fading light upon the dock ticks away like any clock. Woolen shawl pulled tight and warm, sheltered from the coming storm. Gulls are nesting on the beam, far beyond the salty stream. Windows glow in rows of red, supper table softly spread. Still she watches for a sail through the gathering twilight veil. Salt-cured cedar fills the air, waiting on the wooden chair, watching where the shadows fall. Empty horizon answers nothing at all. Why does the harbor swallow up the light so fast before a single guest house lantern starts to glow? Salt sticks to every window pane of tinted glass, while rusty hinges swing and slowly creak below. A battered copper kettle boils upon the stove. I pour the bitter water through a porcelain sieve. The fishermen have packed away the nylon grove. There is no answering address for where I live. A sudden shift in weather rustles through the eaves. I watch the shadows swallow up the fading leaves. Tide is turning, pebbles rolling in the dark. Footsteps vanish where the ferry leaves its mark. Amber windows blur against the ocean swell. Nobody is coming down to ring the bell. A heavy woolen blanket drapes across my knee. I trace the water stains upon the timber floor. The horizon disappears into the endless sea. I leave the heavy iron bolt upon the door. A distant engine stutters somewhere out at bay. The fog is eating every memory of today. Minutes stretch into an unfamiliar shape. I wonder if you ever meant to catch that train, or if you found a quiet corner to escape and left me waiting in the salt impregnated rain. Tide is turning, pebbles rolling in the dark. Footsteps vanish where the ferry leaves its mark. Amber windows blur against the ocean swell. Nobody is coming down to ring the bell. The lighthouse beam begins to spin. Another empty night sets in. Heavy velvet pressing against my wrist, while the amber harbor slowly turns to mist. That autumn evening you walked toward the foam, leaving salt to dry upon the cabin stone. I still wear the jacket lined in deep maroon, waiting here beneath the fading copper moon. Every gull is quiet on the wooden pier, counting down the seasons since you vanished here. The tide rolls in and washes out the sand. I hold the fabric trembling in my hand. 17 Septembers pass me by so slow. Nobody told me love was meant to go. The horizon bleeds a bruised and violet red, while I replay the final things you said. The fishermen have packed their nets away, turning down the lamps against the fading gray. Your empty coat is hanging by the kitchen door, sweeping softly on the splintered cedar floor. I touch the buttons cold against my open palm, finding sorrow underneath the ocean calm. The wind remembers how you spoke my name before the weather turned and broke the frame. Heavy velvet keeps the chill at bay as darkness swallows up another day, while I remain beside the rolling tide. waiting for the ghost of you to step inside. You said the tide would turn at 4. I count the peeling white of boats, a rusted latch against a door. My woolen shawl begins to float. The salt-dried baskets line the stone, a single gull above the mast. The village square is left alone while shadows lengthen out so fast. A heavy net is hung to dry. 3 chimney pots begin to smoke. The copper kettle wanders by, the quiet rhythm of small folk. Red sails are drifting past the dock. A sleepy heron leaves the bay. I watch the sun slide down the rock and wonder if you found your way. Master locks his shed. A stray dog wanders down the pier. The bakery has sold its bread. The evening fog is drawing near. The water laps the wooden pile. An orange glow consumes the west. I haven't moved in 20 miles. My tired hands are laid to rest. Red sails are drifting past the dock. A sleepy heron leaves the bay. I watch the sun slide down the rock and wonder if you found your way. The lantern flickers on the wall. Another dusk begins to fall. Copper light pools over the weathered dock, where the tide rests slow and the gulls forget to cry. A traveler pauses beside my wooden bench, with salt on his coat and questions in his eyes. He asks why I'm staring at the distant phone. I tell him I am waiting for someone to come home. He says the road is muddy. He says the wind is cold. I tell him every sunset is a promise that's been sold. He points to the fading amber on the waves and asks if the man I want has hair of brown. I hand him my shawl to keep the damp away while we watch the fishing skiffs tie up in town. He stays for a moment, then he walks on by, leaving me alone beneath the purple sky. He says the road is muddy, he says the wind is cold. I tell him every sunset is a promise that's been sold. Every stranger passing by brings a different name. Every evening on the shore looks exactly the same. I turn my collar higher as the darkness falls, answering the silence when the ocean calls. He says the road is muddy, he says the wind is cold. I tell him every sunset is a promise that's been sold. The stranger is gone down the darkening lane, and the tide rolls in to wash away the stain. Breaks through the heavy quietude, while crimson spray washes the quiet fishing piers. The salty mist clings softly to my weathered shawl. I trace the wooden railing where the seagulls call. The rolling breakers crash against the jagged stone and leave me standing by the empty sea alone. The harbor lights begin to burn. I search the horizon for your return. Waves fold over the sandy ground without a single human sound. A rusted anchor rests beside the drying nets, while shadows stretch across the pebbled silhouette. The amber glow dissolves into the cooling dark. I watch the evening swallow up the distant spark. My weary fingers clutch the woolen fabric tight, while ships pass silently into the endless night. The harbor lights begin to burn. I search the horizon for your return. Waves fold churn in the foam, while distant vessels guide the weary sailors home. I keep my station on the darkening wooden dock and listen closely to the rhythm of the clock. The harbor lights begin to burn. I search the horizon for your return. Waves fold over the sandy ground without a single human sound. The tide pulls away from the pier. I am still waiting right here. Five on the grandfather clock in the hall, casting long shadows against the pale wall. I sit by the harbor as evening draws near, watching the gulls wheeling over the pier. The salt on my skin has begun to dry white, waiting right here for the flash of your light. Tomorrow we'll walk by the edge of the foam. Tomorrow I'll tell you I'm glad you came home. Tomorrow the weather will clear from the west. Tomorrow the harbor will grant us our rest. Fishermen packing their nets on the quay, talking in low tones about the rough sea. I adjust the collar of your woolen coat, picturing clearly your incoming boat. The beacon is turning across the dark bay, lighting the pathway to guide you straightway. Tomorrow we'll walk by the edge of the foam. Tomorrow I'll tell you I'm glad you came home. Tomorrow the weather will clear from the west. Tomorrow the harbor will grant us our rest. And every small wave brings a promise ahead of words that we wanted so badly to said. The future is waiting just over the swell, with stories that only the two of us tell. Tomorrow we'll walk by the edge of the foam. Tomorrow I'll tell you I'm glad you came home. Tomorrow the weather will clear from the west. Tomorrow the harbor will grant us our rest. The lighthouse beam turns through the dusk, and you are arriving at last. Frayed woolens wrap around my shivering spine, where harbor winds have blown since 9:30. The pier is empty now, the gulls have flown. I sit upon this bench of rusted stone, beside the wooden crates of salted cod. I count the footprints that the sailors trod. I watch the orange sky fade slowly in the gray. I tell myself you sailed upon the ferry yesterday. I pull the yellow threads against my cheek and think of vows you made to me last week. The lighthouse lantern blinks across the foam, while fishermen are hauling anchors home. Your canvas jacket hung behind the door before you walked across the wooden floor. I watch the orange sky fade slowly in the gray. I tell myself you sailed upon the ferry yesterday. The tide is pulling shells into the deep. The coastal village settles into sleep. I wrap the heavy fabric round my face and search the empty water for your trace. I watch the orange sky fade slowly in the gray. I tell myself you sailed upon the ferry yesterday. The wool is cold, the tide is high. The heavy wicker seat begins to bow. I wonder if you are returning now. A copper lantern dims against the tide, where fishing schooners pull up side by side. I smooth my apron on the wooden dock gulls are wheeling past the golden glare, while salt air settles gently in my hair. I trace the waterline across the bay, where amber shadows melt and fade away. The fading summer turns the breakers red, with everything we never truly said. A lonely vessel rounds the jagged steep, while ocean whispers secrets to the deep. The evening breeze has turned a bit more cold. The stories of the coastline start to fold. I wrote a letter to the younger me about the girl who stared across the sea. She thought that love would anchor on the sand, instead of slipping softly through her hand. The horizon bleeds a bruised and violet blue, and every dusk returns my thoughts to you. I should have packed my bags and walked inland, instead of waiting footprints in the sand. The wicker chair is cold beneath my frame, and nobody is calling out your name. Across the quiet harbor in tonight, the tide pulls back and takes away the light. Footsteps echo down the cobblestone, leaving me to watch the sea alone. The bicycle bell rings on the corner street, where you and I used to share our favorite meat. Orange sky is painting over every roof, while the rolling tide is asking for a proof. I lean on the timber railing of the pier, wondering if you will ever reappear. Amber waves are breaking on the sandy shore, counting every minute that you walk no more. Gulls are crying loud above the salty foam, wishing that the ferry brings you safely home. Sunset colors fading into velvet gray, still I stand and wait for you to come my way. A distant engine hums across the sleepy bay. Fishermen are packing up their nets away. Windows of the cottages begin to glow, lanterns flickering against the undertow. Breeze is carrying a chill from distant lands. Shells are slipping softly through my waiting hands. You promised you would return before the cold set in, before the winter frost would freeze the docks again. Friend, my patience wears as thin as fading light. Will you keep your promise in the fading night? Footsteps echo down the cobblestone. Still I face the ocean all alone, waiting by the water till the stars ignite. My old friend, the evening tide is here tonight. A ceramic mug with a chipped handle sits on the cedar table by the glass. I trace the circle where the coffee dried and watch the shadows lengthen on the grass. The salt spray sticks to every window pane, while gulls cry out above the rocky cove. I wrap my cardigan against the chill and tend the embers in the iron stove. They said the schooner would be docking soon, before the twilight swallowed up the moon. Ochre skies begin to fold, while the harbor water turns to gold. Every fishing boat has found its berth, leaving me the quietest place on earth. The lighthouse beam cuts through the rising mist, an orange pulse across the turning tide. I fold my hands across my apron front and leave the cabin door ajar outside. Your heavy boots still sit beside the rack, waiting for the day you travel back. The wooden floorboards groan beneath my tread. I whisper names of islands in my head until the kerosene lamp starts to fade, and I surrender to the promises you made. Ochre skies begin to fold, while the harbor water turns to gold. Every fishing boat has found its berth, leaving me the quietest place on earth. The chipmunk stays right where it was placed, waiting for a step that time erased. Memory nudges the quiet room. Amber lantern sways in the dusk. Floorboards settle under bare feet. Shadows stretch across the pine. Tide pulls back from the rocky wall. Windows fog as the chill sets in. Curtains drift in the salty draft. Lantern wick flickers very low. Boats are tied at the wooden dock. Gulls have settled upon the roof. Amber glow upon the white foam. Waiting here until the stars come. Footsteps fading down the cart track. Nothing moves along the blue bay. Kettle whistles a lonely tune. Ashes crumble inside the grate. Woolen shawl wrapped around my arms. Looking out past the broken fence. Sails are dark on the distant line. Nobody passes by the gate. Every evening brings the same cold, staring hard at the empty path. Will you remember the winding road leading back to the wooden porch? Amber glow upon the white foam. Waiting here until the stars come. Footsteps fading down the cart track. Nothing moves along the blue bay. Night arrives upon the quiet shore. Still I watch the dark horizon. Grease lands heavy on the split pine floor. While you ask me why I'm watching by the screen door, I tell the stranger with the worn leather case that I'm merely keeping score of this quiet place. Salt has crusted white upon the windowsill, where the harbor wind mountains are standing dead and still. Every canvas awning flaps a tired tune, waiting for the rising of a peach-colored moon. You adjust your collar against the damp, cold air and ask if anyone is coming up the stair. Keep your ticket tucked inside your heavy coat. No one's hailing skiffs and no one's boarding boats. Watch the copper glare dissolve into the bay. Nobody is traveling to this coast today. Kettles whistle softly on the rusty stove. Birds are finding shelter in the cedar grove. You lean closer, wondering why I hold my ground, while the wooden flooring settles with a sound. Buses never rumble past the curving bend. This is just a roadside where the gravel ends. Travelers usually turn around by now, yet you linger watching how the breakers plow. Share your matches if you plan to stay a while. We can watch the water lose its summer smile. Keep your ticket tucked inside your heavy coat. No one's hailing skiffs and no one's boarding boats. Watch the copper glare dissolve into the bay. Nobody is traveling to this coast today. Leave the lantern burning bright. No one's coming here tonight. You said the diesel ferry always runs on time. I watched the orange foam dissolve along the line. A rusted anchor rests beside the drying net. The corner grocery store has got no butter left. Three seagulls circle low above the rotting dock. The village steeple bell just struck a hollow four. A stray black kitten sleeps upon a wooden crate. The harbor master locked his heavy office door. Copper light is spilling stones. A lonely pelican cleans his dusty bones. Frosted cans are rolling on the gravel shore. A passing schooner leaves a long and narrow wake. The horizon melts from apricot to deep slate blue. I haven't got another thing I need to do except to watch the water turn from gold to black and wonder if the evening train is bringing back a yellow buoy's bobbing in the freezing spray. The small details of waiting fill another day until the shoreline fades into the coming dark. An empty bench beside the silent water park. Descend on the weather-beaten dock. Your wicker chair faces outward toward the foam, while I imagine how you will welcome me home. Tomorrow evening, the schooner cuts the swell, passing slowly beneath the lighthouse bell. My canvas luggage rests beside the door, painted blue like the cottage kitchen floor. I watch the shadows lengthen on the beach, reaching out for what the waves can teach. And you will pour the tea in earthenware, resting your gentle hands upon my chair. The tide will turn just as the lamplight glows, to wash away the sorrow no one knows. Future hour, the salt will dry our hair. Evening breezes will lift the heavy air. You will smile and ask about the distant town, where brick and mortar press the spirits down. I will tell you nothing bothered me at all, watching twilight settle on the harbor wall. No more waiting by the shuttered pane, listening to the rattle of the glass in rain. We will walk together down the pebbled shore, the sunsets anymore. And you will pour the tea in earthenware, resting your gentle hands upon my chair. The tide will turn just as the lamplight glows, to wash away the sorrow no one knows. I see us sitting there, waiting for the tide.